So, all right, so I'm going to start and just start talking while I'm trying to get this set up because I need all the time I can get. I'm going to actually do a hard restart because it's not even letting me do that. All right, my name is Brandon Lutz. This is 60 and 60 with technical issues. First time it's ever happened to me. But for this presentation, usually I think I'm all set and ready to go. All right, so 60/60 is a fast-paced presentation. We're going to go through all 60 web tools in about 57 minutes. And hopefully, if my computer comes back up. And you know what? There's like water seeping into my computer from over there. Man, hope that's not messing things up. So we're going to go through 60 web tools. And it's real fast-paced. I've been doing this for about 4 years. I'm from the School District of Philadelphia. And trying to think. The first tool I'm going to show you is going to be Videolicious. Videolicious is actually an app that works on iPad and iPhone and iPod Touch. And you can actually take videos, take pictures, make it into a video, and select music. So you actually record yourself. You pick the pictures and the music, and it makes a video for you. And that's the intro that I was trying to show you when I had the technical difficulties. Also, keep going on, and I'll go through some of the tools that then I'll skip through because I want to get through this. So Prezi is the presentation that I used for my 1660 presentations. I really like Prezi because it's web-based, so a lot of times with students, if you have them on PowerPoint, if they don't have PowerPoint at home, they can't get access to it. So with Prezi, they can create an account, they can go on their computer, and at home or at school, grandma's house, it doesn't matter. They can do the presentation. They can also collaborate and work together, and Prezi works really well, too, as a presentation tool. I always had this nightmare that my computer was going to die someday right before a computer. So, looks like it's, now I said it, looks like it's coming up. All right, also, Poll Everywhere. So I had the Poll Everywhere going on here. And the Poll Everywhere is a great way to poll your students and big crowds. I actually got a 750 license from Poll Everywhere. And it's great to ask questions. You can actually put pictures and links, and you can have students get on their mobile devices. You can have them get on to their computer. You can also embed them into a web page. You can embed them into a PowerPoint. You can't embed into a almost there. You can't embed into a Prezi, which I wish you could embed into Prezi, but hopefully they're working on that. And then, so you'll see the poll, and I'll actually post that poll to the session link that we had. And trying to think, going down my list, what other tools I can talk about until we get this up and running. This is fun. What's the next one on the list? Remind me. All right, Edmodo. Okay, so we have an Edmodo group. There's about 110 people on it right now. Edmodo is I use it with students, but this year I started using it with teachers. So we actually create this this teacher group where you can post assignments and ask questions and collaborate and everything together. And in the classroom, I really like it because you can actually annotate your tools. So students can hand in assignments. You can annotate and sign it for them. Annotate it and then send it back to them without ever having to print it off. So Edmodo is a site I really like. What's the next one? All right, just give me the list, yeah. All right, Present Me, we'll talk about I'll actually show the video of that. So Flubaroo, come on. Flubaroo is a script that works with Google Forms that you can actually use it to grade your Google Forms. So I have some pictures in there, and on that you have to make sure you have to know Google Forms a good bit in order to use this. But you actually connect the script. You have the first answers are the correct answers, and is this working? No. All right. So I'm going to go to Plan B in a second. If someone that has an Apple has an Apple computer, and you could get onto the Prezi for me. I can go from the Prezi, and I can go that way if I have to, but it looks like it's starting to think. All right, so that's Flubaroo. Guru learning. This is so much better when it's visual. Thank you. Can you, okay. Somebody go to that link for me and just bring up the 1660. Is it coming? So, I want to be on this one. All right, we can go to show, and then we'll be good. And what time is it? Because I didn't even start my timer because I got thrown. 53, okay. All right, so I should be 8 in right now, right? Okay. Where are you? 9 in. Yeah, 9 in. It's good to have that. All right, come on. All right. Come on, work for me here. Let's go. All right, I think we're good.
1660 is a fast-paced presentation where we'll go through 60 web tools in the next 60 minutes. I like to think of it like a wine tasting, where we'll take a sip of a web tool, spit it out, and move on to the next. So when you have a question, please post that to the Edmodo group, or wait to ask the question at the end. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 1660. And this is your first tool, Videolicious.
All right, I told you about Videolicious there, right? I introduced myself. What else? We'll go through here. I talked about Prezi, right? All right, poll everywhere. So I got through that pretty well, didn't I? I mean, I'm sort of proud of myself for that. All right, Edmodo, if you want to go back this presentation, this Prezi's all on here so you can see the pictures you missed. I apologize for that.
Web tool is called Present Me. Present Me allows you to upload a PowerPoint or a Google presentation and present it asynchronously and share with others. You can use video or just audio. Right here I'm using video. And you upload that presentation, and students can do that very easily and then create the presentation and share with their class or their teachers so they can watch each other's presentations asynchronously. Once you have it recorded, like I'm recording right now, you just go to the end, you watch it. If you like it, you press save, and then it puts it up on the Present Me website. And of course, you can pull it down and have it as a video if you want it. So, real quick, this is a Present Me on Present Me.
All right, so that's Present Me. I really like Present Me. If you use PowerPoint or use Google presentation, you can actually have students sit next, talk about their presentation asynchronously, which allows the teacher to grade them if you don't have time in the classroom, or if you put them up to a wiki, the kids can actually have access to look at each other's presentations. You can also have the option of not putting their video up there, just their audio if you want that option too. So that's Present Me. Flubru we talked about, and usually it doesn't zoom this fast. So there's the form, the answers, and you actually get graded responses for Flubru when you use a Google form. Guru Learning, I think that's where I was when we started, so I'm a little behind, but I'll catch up, I promise. So Guru Learning, I absolutely love this site. So math and science, they're actually adding more categories now. You can actually, there's this laundry list, huge list of all the different things you could think of for math and science. I mean, ridiculous, crazy. I pick one here, inclined plane lever, right? I go here, and I find all these resources. There's videos, there's interactives, there's websites, discussion, lessons, exam, too many to mention. All these resources just on the inclined plane. All these resources. So it aggregates the web for you, pulls all those resources in, and you can now go click. The other great thing about this is then you find great things for your students. You can actually pull in those resources into a collections because they can have a login themselves. They have access to all those resources you wanted to give them access to as well. So that's Guru Learning. All right, Spelling City. Spelling City is one I just got turned on to. My daughter's going into the 3rd grade. We had some major issues with spelling this year. It was one of the most difficult things for her. And here you could actually make your spelling list. And then there's all these different activities. There's actually 26 different activities on here you can do. And this is the free side. There is a paid side for this. You see, then she can actually test herself. So instead of me doing flashcards with her and us tearing her hair out, she can actually work on here and learn those spelling words herself. So here's some list of the free activities, and there's some premium activities on here. You can also print off spelling tests that you give the students. The premium side actually has tools that you can actually have the students listen and take a spelling test on the computer if you have computers in your classroom, which is pretty cool. And at the end, I actually have 2 year premium memberships for Spelling City that they gave me yesterday. So once we're all done, we'll see how we can do that. Also, there's the capitals you can go. There's all kinds of other activities with vocabulary and stuff like that. It's just not spelling. Here's a little game I played and I wasn't very good at that had to do, you filled the cup with the letters to spell the word. And there's a lot of great stuff, and that's Spelling City. All right. Kidzooey. This one will be quick. Kidzooey is a web browser for kids. You can actually have your computer log on to this for your child. It protects them. They can go on YouTube, but it will get rid of all the inappropriate content that they might look for. And there's all those games and stuff like that they can have access to as well. And there's parent passwords, so they can't get out unless you put that password in. And then, of course, here's an example of a video. And then there's also access to Facebook, so it'll actually tell you what your student or child's looking at. Okay? So that's Kidzooey. All right, Little Bird Tales. Little Bird Tales is a site that students can actually create stories. They can use their voice, they can use pictures they draw, they can use a drawing program on Little Bird Tales itself, and then they put it up to the web. There's also an app for this as well. And here's a little example without audio. As you see, so they can write the story. Their likeness isn't on here. Here's one with video, with audio. Maybe.
A story about Ben Franklin, told by Roman and Isabella. He was born in Boston. He loved to read.
All right, I'm going to move on because I'm trying to catch up here. Starfall. See, we're going down a little bit younger road right now. But Starfall is actually a great literacy site that I used when I was teaching computers for K through 2 or 3. So just phonics. It also helps them start to read. Click on.
Apple.
So it works on that phonics. And then you click on Learn to Read, and you see they start to go into conjunctions. And there's games they can play. There's little activities they can do and everything like that as well. So that's Starfall. I'm going to move on. All right, Hippocampus. We're going to get back up a little bit to higher level here, middle school and high school math. But Hippocampus is a lot like Guru Learning. It actually allows you to, it aggregates all the sites, the videos, the FET, if you're familiar with the FET website, Khan Academy, and other sites that will bring on the certain topics. So if I do finance, it gives you all kinds of finance documents and things you can do to teach in your classroom. And then here's an example. This is an arithmetic worksheet that they have through the FET website. You actually have access to students. It's an interactive simulation they can use as well. So that is Hippocampus. Course Hero. Course Hero is a new one I found. I really like this because the students, I had a student that was interested in engineering. Well, this actually pulls all those sites. You know, like Harvard and MIT have those courses now, the free courses. Well, this aggregates those courses. You can actually click on them. Also have Khan Academy and other sites like that on here. But you could actually click on it, watch an engineering course, student watch an engineering course. I don't know if I want to be an engineer anymore. But it was good because they could see that and have access to it. And you also get access to a lot of free courses. There is a paid side of this as well, but there's a lot of free content as well. And there's also a flashcard site on here that, to be honest, I haven't played with much, but it looks like it might have some potential and looks pretty interesting. So that's Course Hero. All right. So Math Train. So now we're talking about all these different sources, bringing them in. But I like the concept of what about having your students create math videos and share them on the web. So that's what actually Math TV gentleman, his name's escaped me right now. He actually has his students create these math videos, and he's now viral worldwide. So all his students are teaching other students all over the world about math.
Today I'm going to teach you how to do some basic trigonometry. First, we're going to look at the right triangle that I drew, and we're going to find a reference angle. So we've identified this angle as our reference angle. So now we know that any angle that we're talking about is going to be this one. The three basic trig functions are sine, cosine, and tangent. To find these...
All right, so there's lots of sites out there. A ton of apps that do that type of stuff right now, right? Because I'm primarily staying on web tools here, but there's different apps you could use that to then have a website for your students to show anything on the web. It doesn't have to just be math, but that's Math Train. SideVibe. SideVibe, This is a site that actually was on last year, but I had to add it again because they used to, you got 50 students for free, and now it's totally free. So what SideVibe does, if you ever go on a web quest with your students, create that web quest, you ever notice you go between like that physical paper or a Word document and a website, and you got to go back and forth, and next thing you know, they're on NBA.com or they're on wrestling or whatever. SideVibe actually puts this little companion on top, so they actually have a little companion box. They can type in their information, discussion forums, they can answer questions that will go right to the teacher, but it keeps them live on that website. So, and then they just click the links on there to go to the websites that are appropriate. So you know they have that SideVibe companion in order for them to be working on the project. Here's an example of a video they could watch and answer. Here's a vocabulary sheet, maybe they're on vocabulary, and then they can click and put their definitions. And then the cool thing is you get a teacher and student interface because they have their login, and you can see everything they've done. So that's SideVibe. All right, Jog the Web. Jog the Web is for social bookmarking. Again, sort of the same concept of SideVibe in a way. It's not that they collect data, but you actually get to keep the students in one place. So there's this Jog the Web icon that goes around, and all the links you want the students to go on the left-hand side. And you can actually, up there on top, you give them directions on what you want them to look for. But it's a great way, again, keep them on point. You know they're on the sites they want to be on. And I also created, there's a whole list and a link on the wiki. There's a Jog the Web of all 60 tools. So if you'd like to look through all the tools that way in Jog the Web and just go next, 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 you can go and look at all those tools as well. So that's Jog the Web. All right. Hackasaurus. Hackasaurus is a site for students that are into HTML, teachers that are into HTML, or if you just want to mess with your students a little bit. So what Hackasaurus does, it actually allows you turn it on, and allows you to look at the code of a different website. So maybe there's some code, you're like, how'd they do that? Your students can actually look at that. They can see the code here, and look at it, they can copy it. And then you can actually do something. I took on Morpheus as a project, another day to talk about, but I put the picture of Morpheus in here, played around with it, and next thing you know, Morpheus is on CNN.com. So if you want to mess with your students and say, look, I'm on CNN or I'm on some website, you can actually hack the website locally on your own cache. No worries about getting arrested or anything. But you can actually put the pictures and play with your students. Or if you're working with HTML or anything like that, have them get on there, play around with it. They make changes to it and everything like that. So that's Hackasaurus. All right. Hopefully I'm starting to get caught up here. Simple Meet. This will be a quick one. Literally, if you want to do a real quick chat in the classroom and you don't want to have a login or anything like that, you can just do a Simple Meet. You just go up, literally create the URL. You can actually put your email address in to get a chat log. The only thing I suggest is you talk to your students and make sure they know what's appropriate when they're on there because it is unfiltered. I always tell kids, use your real name. If you don't, we're going to turn it off. But it's a real quick way to collect chat information from your students. If you have like a teachable moment where you just need them to talk and you don't want to spend the time setting it up, you can do this really quick and easy. And I do have one Simple Meet set up for today if you want to play with that. Block site. This one's another quick one. So I had a teacher that Twitter's not blocked in our school district. Didn't like Twitter. Couldn't stand it. So he wanted it done. I tried talking him into why Twitter is good, but it didn't work. So he decided, I want to block this website. So he went on Firefox, went to block site. He could block whatever sites he wants, and now the students can't get on Firefox and get onto Twitter. The only problem is if you have Safari or Internet Explorer, students get on that way. But he really liked that, and I had to share it. All right, Class Dojo. Class Dojo is a classroom behavior site that I absolutely love because it's web-based here, like I'm showing you. You can give positive and negative behavior to your students. So Angelina just got positive behavior in class. And then I can go to the negative side and give Cameron Diaz negative behavior. And then I can go over and give the whole class positive behavior. So everyone just got positive behavior. But the really neat thing about this is that there's a little shortcut you create on your iPad or your iPhone or your Droid. You can actually go walk around and great job. And you can give it, and it will show right up onto the computer and give that positive behavior to the computer from the app. So which is really positive. A lot of teachers use that for like collecting homework and stuff like that. And it keeps track. And it's a really nice interface that shows a chart with green and red for positive and negative behavior. And now there's access for parents to see that as well. So that's Class Dojo. MailChimp. Believe it or not, I usually don't go this fast. I'm even going faster trying to catch up. MailChimp is a mail site that, so say you collect all your parents' and students' email addresses, or maybe you work with staff and you're doing an organization. You can collect all the email addresses and send out really nice looking templated emails, like you see those from advertising from some companies and stuff like that. You could create something like that real easy in a template. And I use this for an organization I'm involved with, PAECT, an ISTE affiliate. And so we use this, created it, and the nice thing is it gives us statistics on the data. So I can see, wow, at this point, 51 people still hadn't opened it. Why is that? Is there something going on with spam? And it gives you that information. I really like, how many times you get bad email addresses from students and parents. So that's MailChimp. Dropbox, and some students of mine are going to give me a little break.
My name is Dante.
Hi, I'm China. And I'm Imani.
And this is Dropbox.com.
Here's Dropbox.com, where storing document files are easier, where you don't need a flash drive and work is never missing. You also have a file that your teacher has access to any documents at any time. You also have a public file where you can view and also share public links to any public viewers.
Remember, you don't need a flash drive anymore.
You won't lose assignments anymore.
And you can access assignments from your
So what can we share?
videos and PowerPoints. You name it, it can be shared.
Hey look, here's the new project.
And that's Dropbox. Back to you, Mr. Lutz.
All right, so that's Dropbox. If you don't have your data backed up, you get 4 gig free on Dropbox. At least push your most important data on Dropbox and download it so you have it backed up. Because I've had teachers that have lost everything. Dropbox makes it real easy and it's free for 4 gig. So that's Dropbox. DoShare, real simple. DoShare is a site that's been giving me trouble, so this might be going out the window, but I kept it on here because, remember, Web 2.0 tools sometimes are here today, gone tomorrow, okay? So the concept of this, and GE.TT does the same thing, it was one I did last year, but you can actually send large files to people. So over 20 meg, you can't send that in email, right? So, and for professional development, I'll actually, instead of putting a flash drive and handing the flash drive around to everybody, and it takes like half an hour, I just put the files up on here, give the URL in the beginning, everyone downloads them in the first 5 minutes, we're ready to roll. And that's what a DoShare does. And there's like the link, and then you copy it, and you're ready to roll. So that's DoShare. All right. iBooks Author. Got to preface iBooks Author. This is for iPad, and you have to be running Lion on it. But I want to share because I like the concept. This allows you to create virtual textbooks on the iPad. Okay? So real quick, you get to see all the stuff. You get a nice interface to work with it. And you get to put in gallery, media, reviews, which are like little test items you can put in there, keynotes, so your presentations you have in there, interactive images where you can actually zoom into pictures and point it out and put the text above it, 3D and HTML. And I went through a real quick one here. So this is one on the planets, and see how the images can be in there. You can gallery through them. And then there's an example of the interactive page. And then
Well, in my left hand I
there's
have
also
a
video
feather.
integration as well.
In my right hand a hammer.
So, awesome concept. This is the way education's going. I'm sure there's going to be lots of other programs that are going to be like this. It's not just going to be for Apple and iPad, just to start to get us thinking about all that type of stuff. Remind 101. This excellent site. So have you ever wanted to communicate with your parents and your students via text or email? But you probably heard people got in trouble because they collected their students' cell phone numbers, they started texting them, and next thing you know, parents are all mad because you're taking up my minutes or my text messaging fees. Well, this actually allows you to send those either SMS or emails to your students through Remind 101. But the cool thing is the students have to use this sheet to sign in. So they're the ones that are physically making conscious effort. They have to go in and sign up to get these messages. So then when you have that test on Monday and it's Sunday night, you can send that message, don't forget to study for your test. It goes out to them whichever way they want, through email, through texting, it doesn't matter. So, and they also have an app now, and they're actually got some great things coming down the pike as well to make it better. So that's Remind 101. Duolingo. So this is a brand new site. It was in private beta until a few days ago. This site actually teaches Spanish, French, and German. At this point, I can see them doing more. But it teaches this incredible format where it's like this huge. I haven't gotten through a lot of it yet. You can probably tell. You go through, you click on here, and you have to pass by like whatever percent, I think it's like 80%, and you get these little hearts. So if you don't answer correctly, you lose a heart. And if you lose all your hearts, you have to start over. And the nice thing is you have to type in, it's like very visual. It also asks you to record, so you have to say the word, and it records you saying it, and if it's correct or not. So here's another one, and it tells you are correct, that you said it correctly. So it's really immersing you into the language. And then it gives you the points, and you move on to a new section. So that's Duolingo. And I just did the Spanish side. Here's Boomwriter, and Brooke, who was helping me earlier, is going to tell us about it.
Boomwriter is an awesome website to get your student excited about writing. It's made for grades 4 and up, and its motto is read, write, compete, and get published. As an educator, you can sign up for a free educator account, and you can sign up your students as well. The premise of this site is that you create a writing prompt, whether you choose a story starter from the marketplace or you write your own. The choice is up to you. And then students compete to have their writing chosen as the next part of the story. So you can create a category for your story to fall within. Okay, add your text there. And then once you create your story, you can set whether you want it to be open to just your class or whether you want it to be open to more than just your class so other students can respond. You can choose how long you want your competition to be open for, so whether you want it to be for 3 days, or how long you want to give them to write, how long you want to give them to vote, and then after the voting process, whatever selection is made, that part becomes the next chapter in the story and the process starts all over again. The nice thing about this site is that it doesn't tell you the names of students, so it doesn't become a popularity contest. Students are just focused on choosing the best writing to complete the story. That's Boomwriter.
Pretty awesome, huh? So that's Boomwriter. All right, am I getting close? I'm at 28, and how much time do I have? Like half an hour? Yes, so I'm getting caught up. All right, Scribble. Had to take a little time check there. Scribble. So Scribble sort of works a little bit like Hackasaurus, but this allows you to add annotations to a website, and you feel like you're physically changing the website when you do it. So I have this example here, and I move over, and I can highlight, I can change the font color, I can crash out or mark it out, and then I can also put little memos there too. But the cool thing about this is I can then take a unique URL that I can send to my students, so maybe I want to focus on the important things in an article, or if I want the students to summarize, maybe in a group, a long PDF or a long web-based thing, they could actually share it with each other and do the annotations as well. So that's a real quick and easy Scribble, great way to annotate over. Paperwriter. So have you ever wanted to have a computer grade a paper for you? Yeah? That'd be nice, right? So Paperwriter does just that. You actually put your information in. It's going to ask you what level you're writing at. So it's going to ask you, what type of writing it is. And you make sure that's important because only certain things will look for plagiarism. And then it's going to look and say, oh, no plagiarism here. Bad phrase score was good. Sentence length. It tells you all the statistics on that. And then it tells you how your transitional word score is. And then it told me I could use better vocabulary. It's like, didn't you get that all the time? But then I wasn't real happy because it said I got a C. But didn't matter. But I also put master's level. I put my level and everything like that. And then it graded it for me. So one thought, why not have students use this ahead of time? They could have it graded for them. They could go through, try to make it better before you get that awful paper. Maybe that awful paper will be better, or a good paper will be good, right? So, or you could actually use it as a starting point with your grading as well. So that's Paperwriter. NBC Learn. NBC Learn, probably heard a lot about that. I think they're on the vendor's floor. They're a paid, they have the archives, they're working on all kinds of archives from NBC, really awesome resources, my district has it, but they also have some free resources here. So this is the science of football.
It's one of the most exciting chases in the NFL.
They have to choose what direction and speed to run so that they get to the same place at the same time as the runner and can make the tackle.
In football, the path the defender must take to intercept the ball carrier is called the angle of pursuit. According to John Zeigert, an automotive engineer at Clemson University, this path is also a perfect illustration of a fundamental equation in geometry called the Pythagorean theorem, discovered by the Greek mathematician Pythagoras more than 1,700 years ago.
Pythagorean theorem is a basic theorem in...
All right. So you get the idea. There's lots, and they're adding more and more of those free resources. So what a great way to get, teach them in a different way. I always like that. Teach a concept, show a little video on it. Not long, but just a little video that gets them interested. Say, wow, they actually use Pythagorean theorem in football. Gets the kids interested. So really like that. SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe is pretty cool. If they actually looked on the wiki, you actually probably saw this little send a voicemail message. So you can actually take a wiki or a blog, you connect that the little send voicemail over there, you click on it, and somebody can leave you a voicemail on your actual site. Well, think about using it with the students. Well, maybe you're going to have your students, like I always say, what if they watch a State of the Union address? You have them watch it, and then if they go to bed and they get up and they talk to you about it third period, they're going to lose a lot of what they were learning about, what they really feel. So why not tell them to go on here for extra credit for homework, leave a 30-second to a minute-long voicemail about what they learned, and you can listen to it in class later on. So now the students say, oh yeah, I remember that, and gets a good conversation going. So that's a real quick, one way you could use it. There's a ton of other ways you could use SpeakPipe as well. Capsules, and here's Jen Brinson is going to tell us about capsules.
Hi everyone, Jen Brinson from Salisbury High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania, here to give you a quick sneak peek at Capsules. Capsules is an online timeline generator where you and your students can build in text, images, video, and audio into your timelines. You can lay in background music, organize your images into albums, and give each image a descriptive caption. A finished capsule can be shared using a link on Twitter or Facebook, embed in a wiki or website, or email it. Personally, I have my students share the link on our Class Edmodo page. Capsules also has a comment component where students and teachers can leave feedback from one another, thus giving us a whole new dimension of collaboration and communication. And there you have it. Hope you enjoy Capsules and the rest of 1660. Back to you, Brandon.
All right, so that's Capsules. Move on. DocsTeach. DocsTeach, if you're familiar with the National Archives, right? DocTeach actually takes the National Archives and allows you to create activities with those archives. Pretty cool. You probably hear me say that a lot, sorry. So here is the front page, and you go through, you can pick all these different activities to use with the documents, and then you can how you find the document you want to use, and then for instance, here it has a document that highlights what they want students to read. Of course, you can zoom in and see this document better, and then you can put questions there for the students to answer. But the really neat thing is you can actually, there's not like a student password system or anything like that, but you can actually ask them to put in their email address and send you their answers to that if you wanted them to do that as well. And here's another example of the food pyramid chart and how it's changed. Again, you take two documents you're comparing them to, and down below you actually have questions the students can answer in class. So it really gives you a way to use those National Archive images in an engaging way with your students. So that's DocsTeach. Useful Charts, real quick one. So Useful Charts is a chart site that has real good visuals. You name it, there's probably a visual for it. So here's one example. The way they make their money is they sell their charts, but you can download them and use them on the computer or interactive whiteboards and stuff like that. So go through here. This is the history of time. I guess it's not everything in the history of time, but gives you an idea. Nice and visual. But here's another one talking about political parties. Getting ready for the election here. You can actually put that up, let your students look at it. Gives you a nice visual. And then I just did a thing on archetypes with a teacher for 2 months, and give you all the different types of characters and what movie or book they're in, and they give you that in a nice visual format as well. Gets the students thinking. So that's Useful Charts. All right, desktop QR code reader. So we're getting the QR codes for a few here. So I really like this. So, if you don't have mobile devices in your classroom and you want to use QR codes, there's a desktop reader. So if you ask to access them some laptops, or you want students to create QR codes to do with a desktop that has a webcam, you can do that with this QR code reader that you just download very easily onto your computer. And here's an example of me scanning on desktop QR reader with my phone. I put the QR code there, but that was on the desktop of the computer that it did. So that's desktop QR code reader. All right, QR stuff. So there's lots of QR code creators out there. I really like this site because it gives you access. I went too far, sorry. You can do website URL, videos, email address, and there's all that changes for all the different type of QR codes you want to create. And then, like for instance, here I did stuff that's contact data. So I'll actually make a V card with contact data on that QR code. So you scan it, and then you can put that right into your phone into a contacts card. So it just allows you to create different QR codes. And then you can also change the color and stuff like that, which some sites you can't do that with, which is pretty cool too. And there's an example of a QR code. And that's QR stuff. The last one's QR voice. So whatever you put up there on top of them, you write up there, the computer's going to read it for you through the QR code. So if you're doing a scavenger hunt or anything like that, have students create these, you can put them around the classroom, and then you get something like this. And so I'm actually on the iPhone here, and now she's going to read it.
How would you use QR voice in your classroom? The possibilities are endless.
All right, so that's QR voice. All right, P-Table. So here at P-Table, I got a little example here.
Hey, this is P-Table, and it provides an interactive periodic table. As you can see, you can click on the first tab, and it gives you Wikipedia information, web elements, video, photo, and podcast. You just click on one of those links, and it will actually have a pop-up that appears. So for the Wikipedia, if I click here, it will bring up Wikipedia information about that element, and it will do so with all the other links here. You can also click on the other tabs, the properties, which will give you the properties here of each of the different elements. There's also the information on the orbitals and also information about isotopes. You just click those. And real quick, that is P-Table. Great for science.
All right, so I made that little video with the next tool I'm going to share with you called Screener. Screener is a site that allows you to do screencasts without downloading any software onto your computer. You literally click the record button, it gives you a box, you can then record it and then download it immediately as a movie file onto your computer. And so, that's what I did with the P-Table. I went to P-Table, I started press record it, and put the video right in here to the Prezi. So real quick, easy way to record screencasts. So if you want your students to do that at home or you want them to do it easily, Screener will allow you to do that. We don't need to watch it again. All right, AnyMeeting. All right, so I just started using this AnyMeeting. So have you ever wanted to have like a group meeting or a webinar or something like that, but it costs money for a lot of these sites? AnyMeeting actually allows you for 200 people to attend. There's some ads. They're not really that obtrusive, but you can actually, and so here's me running an AnyMeeting, and then we had a meeting for our region. They're going to kill me for putting that picture up there. I'm surprised I didn't get hit by something. So you can also share your screen as well. You can share that desktop. You can share an actual application. For instance, I did 60 and 60 as a practice like a week ago. And then the cool thing is you can, as you're presenting and you share your screen, you can see what your audience is seeing as well, which is really nice. Nice feature. And then that's what it looks like when I'm sharing the screen. So that's AnyMeeting. You can use this with students if you want to have like a homework help time. You could get them on there real quick and easy. You have a choice if you want to allow them to have audio and video. You can do audio and video for up to 6 people, and then the rest, you'd have to take turns coming on if you want. But that's AnyMeeting. All right, Jeopardy Labs. This is one of my absolute favorites, and it's probably going to be the last year it's on 60 and 60, but this is a great way to do Jeopardy assessments. Without PowerPoint.
Hey, this is JeopardyLabs.com. This is a great place to create Jeopardy assessments using your web browser. It's a heck of a lot easier than using PowerPoint. So you click on the Start Building icon here. You have to put in a password. If you notice there was no login, you can log in, but they do ask for a little donation. Simply you put in title, category, and then you click on here and you can put the answer in your question just like the regular Jeopardy format. Real simple. And because we're short on time here, I'm just typing test. And now I'm going to save. It gives you 2 links.
Make sure you save those links.
One to edit, one to play. If I click play, it will only show what you've created. You can also do multiple teams. And now the one I have here, quick response, and you can score your teams as well.
if you ever fought with PowerPoint, this blows it away, and you can download it and keep it, so if this ever does go away, if you save them, they'll just run on your web browser and work. So that's Jeopardy Labs. Study Blue, this will be a quick one. Study Blue is just a flashcard site that works with any mobile app that you want. It's real quick and simple. You know, it's going to run through just some examples here. Students can study. A lot of my students ride the bus home. I say, you know, use the flashcard site. Make your flashcards. Study on your phone on the way to school and the way home, and you're going to be fine. And you know, it's just real simple, easy. They can study. They can test themselves. They can go back and forth like real flashcards. It's just a real simple flashcard site that's useful for students and for yourself if you're in the classroom or learning right now. Pearl Trees. Pearl Trees is a visual bookmark site. I really like this. So here's me and all my pearls, and a pearl is like a folder, and then or it could be a link to a site. So here is an example of all the 60/60. So here's all the tools we're looking at today, and then that's all in that one pearl that's in the middle, which is 1660 ISTE 2012. So, and the cool thing is you can actually pull off one, like, say you have a folder for one topic the students are doing, you can actually embed that into a wiki or send them the link so they have access to it. Again, it keeps them sort of in the realm where they're supposed to be rather than moving around. So Space is a corkboard site that actually allows students, anyone can collaborate and post this board to share it with each other. So you see this board, wow, that's not much space, is it? This is actually the space you get. It's this huge virtual corkboard that you zoom around the whole thing so you can collaborate, put ideas, put links and everything. There's notepads, all that stuff on there. If you saw on the 1660, I actually have like the cheat sheet and the Prezi and stuff. I played around with this and actually created like this space for the 1660. If you want to check that out, the link's on the session website as well. So that's space. All right, here we go to Freesound. Freesound is a sound site for using for podcasting. One thing I will say is anybody can put sounds on here. So if anyone can put sounds on here, I did a presentation a few weeks ago and somebody told me that the sound of the day was had an inappropriate word in it. So I'm just giving be aware of it. But the sounds are so great on here. Here's an example of some of the sounds. So that's Freesound. Just make sure if you're working with students, give them a heads up that, you know, don't put an inappropriate word in there. You might get an inappropriate sound. So that's my little preface. All right, Vocaroo.
Hey, this.
Whoop, went too far. And that's going to be a little loud if we turn down a little bit. Give you a heads up. Vocaroo is, if you ever want a student create an audio sound real quick and you don't have a recorder on your computer, Vocaroo does it through the web, real quick and easy. And here's an example of the sound.
This is Brandon, and this is Vocaroo. Here, you go to the website, click record whatever audio you would like, press stop, and then you can share it with ease.
So real quick and easy way, and you can download an MP3 or WAV file right after you record the audio file. So if you want the students to create audio files for a podcast or something and send it to you, they can. Real quick and easy, make that audio file with Vocaroo, or even, you know, if they're interviewing each other or anything like that. All right, IFT. I don't know how to say that. IFT. But yeah. It's if this, then that. So this just blows my mind. So literally, you can tell if you want to post, so if I go here, if I post apostrophe, it will then tweet it out that I posted apostrophe, okay? And I don't know if so I did this, I posted apostrophe, posted Twitter, then I went Twitter to apostrophe. Somebody emailed me and said, did you mean to send that 140 times? I said, no. So I'm just giving the preface. You want to make sure you think about the process, and they call them recipes as you go through this. Here's another example. So you can post to Facebook, it goes to Twitter. You can Instagram, other sites. You can get them communicating. You can actually look at weather.com and have it email you if you need to get the umbrella out. So I haven't even dug that deep into this, but it's crazy. RSS feeds, it tell you all kinds of stuff like that. So that's IFT. So Blabberize. Blabberize is you can create pictures and make them talk. And my teachers and students use this like to anticipate, you know, if they want the students, they can talk as a famous person. So here's like the little example. I'll show a little bit of this from their site.
Welcome to Blabberize.com, the only internet site that you can upload a picture, select and mouse on that picture.
All right, and then
Hello, I am Jesse Owens. I proved that Germans are not a mass race, and that African Americans also could win the Olympics all the time. This is a really good speech, and thank you.
so you can actually have the students and act like they're a famous person or anybody, any image you could take and you could have them talk. So that's Blabberize. Photosynth. Photosynth, this is an app for iPad or iPhone, but there's a Photosynth website that you can find panoramics. So you actually, I have a video here, you can actually go and take pictures. You stand, you got to try to be still when you do it. But as I go through here, so I was in Williamsport, and there's this awesome, like, all the mosaic, is that right, mosaic? Mural, thank you, that you could go through and see. So I was like, wow, what a great way to capture it, but use that so you could scan through it and look through the whole thing. And then my kids were up on a fire truck, a special day, and I couldn't show you how high up the ladder went, so I just pulled that out and was able to show the ladder for the pictures out. And you go to Photosynth, there's tons of websites out there, or pictures out there you can check out. You even find things maybe you can use in the classroom as well on the Photosynth website. All right. Jellycam, this is a stop-motion download site that you can do stop-motion photography. And I'm going to, sorry, Mark, I'm skipping you. You see that? So with my son, we did Legos. You can actually make stop-motion. The other neat thing, I had some students, and they erased it, or I would have showed it. They actually had this thing where they took pictures and they put their hand there and they switched places, and the next person came up and it looked like they were just like teleporting into the seat. And then of course, sometimes kids are, oh, we don't like that, we got rid of it. You got rid of it, that was awesome. So, but this is a really cool site, and it's free to do stop motion photography. Toontastic. Toontastic, this is an iPad app, but my daughter absolutely loves it. And I really wanted to download one of the ones that she created, and I was having issues getting it. I'll talk to you about that, one of the apps that we have. But literally, you can do a story. So sort of like Puppet Pals, but you can actually do multiple scenes in this. So you go through, you pick your background, you pick the characters you want, and then you can actually start the animation. And here's a quick example I made yesterday, so I at least show you a little bit. So you can move the characters along, and you could be talking as well as you go through here. And what my daughter has much better than what I did, but so you pinch your fingers, zoom in and zoom out, and it makes this whole story, and that's just one scene there as an example, but it's really neat, thinking about stories and setting the music, setting the tone, and then you can upload them to the Toontastic website if you want as well. So that's Toontastic. All right. Productive. Productive is a site that I've been using. I really like it. It helps for tasks, and you can join up to one other person on a task list. So I use this with some of the teachers I work with. I have a point teacher that I work with to teach other teachers about technology integration, and she'll actually has a list, and she'll tell me what I need to be doing, and then what's the priority and stuff as I get there, because I have a lot of schools, and also it's just a great way to keep track on multiple devices. I have it on my computer, I have it on my phone, I have it on my iPad, I have access to it, and can click it off. And there's a whole bunch of other integration, like with Google Calendar and all these other tasks and filters and things that you can do with it as well. So that's Productive. Alrighty, reflection. So I was talking about the issues I was having. So reflection, if you noticed, I've actually shown the iPad and the iPhone through the computer. So reflection, actually, you get 10-minute trial to start. This one, it does cost $15, but because I was using it, I wanted to share it with you. But you can actually wirelessly stream your iPhone or your iPad to your computer. So you could actually be walking around and show them what's going on. The only issue is sometimes there's bandwidth issues. If you're not connected to the same network, people sometimes have issues with that, and that was one of my hassles. But it's a great way, because then I would do it, and then I would screencast it and record the video, and then I could show the iPad for the presentation. So that's reflection. All right, tweet chat. So I have some teachers that don't want to be on Twitter, but they think there's some good content on Twitter. So tweet chat, you can actually do a search and find content for unblocked users on Twitter. So I have a link that you probably saw that goes to 16 and 6012, which is the hashtag for today's presentation. So if I just post it on there, you can actually see that come up live. So you can also have that in the classroom if you want and see what's trending. If you're doing a certain activity or the conference or anything like that, or a PD, you can have tweet chat filter out and show you what's going on at whatever event you're on. Penio. Penio is a site that allows students to create websites without any username or password. Well, I lied. There is a password, but it's just to that site, so none of the likeness is in there. So if you don't want to deal with Wikispaces and have the students all log in and all that stuff like that, you can have them go, all right, go to Penio, name your site, whatever you want to name it, put your password in, and now you can create a website on the content we're learning in class. And now you have that website that you can then attach to your own web page or list for the students to be able to look at on their own. It's real quick and easy. I mean, literally, you start with this. You type whatever you want in there. It gives you some directions. You can put YouTube videos. You can put pictures. You can actually drag pictures right in as well. So here I put a title in. I dragged a picture in. And then I got rid of the extraneous stuff. And then I made just a real quick web page. This took me like 2 minutes to create. So this is quick and easy for students to use without the hassle of the password. All right. SumDog. SumDog is a math site that allows students to play games against each other all over the world, but it protects them. It's not putting their real name out there unless they put their username as their real name. So I got on here, created an account, and then I played against the students and then was able to pick a pretty easy one. I still got 2 wrong. So I won, but you see I only got 94%, but I don't know how I did that. Or maybe I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose, yeah. We'll say that. But it's really neat, and there's also competitions in a lot of the states for the students to get on here. But what a great way for them to practice, reinforce basic math skills and other higher-level math skills in a fun way, and also be competing against each other. All right, S'more. S'more is a new site just got turned on to. It's like a newsletter site that you can like make an event and send out that information. So I did an event for the organization I talked about earlier. So we did this Tech and Tacos, but we sent out this link to all of our members so they could see it. And you see, like, it has all the information. You can put directions in there and stuff. It's real easy. Also, you get like statistical data up there that tells you how many visitors you had and everything like that. You can put your own images and links and everything like that. And I'm thinking, well, how about the classroom? Well, it doesn't really have to be an event, right? What if you have the students just create one of these for some of the content they're learning about, and they could use that and share the link with each other as well. So that's how you could use it educationally. Plus, if you're doing some event in school as well with adults, you could use it that way as well. All right. So Pinterest. How much time do I have? 5 minutes. Oh, yes, I got caught up. Woo! So I'll let Debbie talk here about Pinterest.
Hi, my name's Debbie. My friend Brandon asked me to tell you about Pinterest. That's their logo behind me. Pinterest is a website where you can look for ideas, post your ideas in anything, in books, in movies, in design, in party ideas, different colors, if you're decorating a room in your house, if you're looking for a wedding dress, if you have jewelries, if you have a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah party, any ideas, cars, painting, art. I use it for design in my class. I have a couple of different boards, and one of them is for projects and one of them is for design, and I like to put up typography and design ideas, and my students and I, we look at them and we get ideas and see how we can be inspired to have our own sense of creativity and think out of our own box in class. So check out Pinterest. It's lots of fun.
You can see I asked because she gets a little lengthy there. But she used Pinterest in her class for design with her students. Really cool. They post to it. I've been starting to get into it. My family and I go on hikes, and every time we go out, I take pictures, and it's a nice Pinterest. People follow, get to see the hikes we go on. But a lot of time, mostly it's links to websites that have to do with a graphic. So here's an example of one for educational quotes. You can click on it, go to the site where that quote came from. So those images from the websites get picked there. So you can have your students go out and grab images for a certain topic, create a Pinterest, and then you have access to it and the links behind it as well. So Pinterest, you probably heard of it. It's been huge in the last couple months. All right, Mentimeter. So Mentimeter, we talked about poll everywhere earlier, and I know that was one of the ones I sort of zipped through, but poll everywhere allows you to do, just 40 users. Mentimeter is a little bit leaner, but it allows you to ask a question. So here I put what's awesome meter for 1660. In the beginning it was really lousy, and hopefully it got to super awesome, right? And then you can actually have a vote. You can put this up there. The students can go to that through the website or on a smartphone. And then it gives you links to the voting page, the results page, and then you can embed it into a wiki or a website if you want as well. And then you keep that administrator link because there's no username or password. And you can get access to it later on and change it. But the nice thing is you don't have to log in or anything. You can just create it right away on the fly. And then, and also they have a QR code, so you actually scan that with your phone, get a QR code and answer the question as well, and it gives you nice graphical data on that. So real quick, easy way to poll your students. Okay, so the last one you've all been waiting for, a lot of fun. Check this out. This is called Incredibox. That's Incredibox. And you're like, all right, how is that educationally relevant? I actually had some students that created with some of these, and I actually pulled it off so they could use it when they did a video podcast. Also, the last few minutes of class, it's interesting because for music they get to put a lot of different beats together, and if you get through all the beats, it actually lets you get into it's actually almost a little game. You can get this extra beat thing that goes on and everything like that. Just be aware if you do decide to play with this, you're going to lose about 10 to 15 minutes. It's a lot of fun, and I figured it was a nice way to end off. I apologize for the technical issues in the beginning, and hopefully you found this beneficial. And thank you. And if you wouldn't mind, I do have a survey. The cheat sheet that some of you downloaded and were able to fill out was an idea of somebody from this survey. So I take this survey to heart. Please be honest with me how I can make this better, any ideas you might have, and thanks for coming.